Hey everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. A quick update and analysis on Ferran Torres' foot injury. He picked up a, quote, knock on his foot in the Nations League semifinal versus Italy, in which he scored 2 goals, and then played in the final versus France 3 days later as well. However, he did not look quite himself. He was eventually diagnosed with a, quote, small fracture in his foot and has been ruled out for 2.5 to 3 months, according to Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola. The first question becomes, how was he allowed to play in the final? Well, the first thing is we don't even know if that fracture was suffered in the semifinal or if it was actually suffered in the final. Secondly, foot fractures in the first few days can often seem quite non-serious. For example, during the Euro Cup, Phil Foden had an injury to the foot and was in contention to play in the final, but then ended up missing multiple months as well. Personally, I've dealt with elite athletes and also ultra runners who've played a season or ran a race of 100+ kilometers and didn't even realize they had a fracture in the foot until they got an x-ray later on for some other injury. So there's a lot of gray area involved with these small foot fractures. Based on the mechanism of injury for Torres, how he got hurt, with him taking a direct contact to the foot and him having ice on the lateral outer part of his foot, this is likely a small fracture of the metatarsals. So what's the good news here? There was a recent picture of Torres training in a strength session where he's wearing a cam protective boot on that foot, which means he's likely partial weight bearing. This tells us that he likely did not have the dreaded Jones fracture on the 5th metatarsal, which typically requires surgery, and he'd be non-weight bearing at this point. That Jones fracture can come with potential complications because there can be delayed healing due to the limited blood supply. There can be ongoing discomfort because that part of the foot is loaded constantly, and also there can be hardware irritation as well. An example of all 3 of those things is Brooklyn Nets superstar Kevin Durant, who missed an extended amount of time dealing with those issues. As we learn more in Torres' case, I'll keep you updated.